ladies and welcome back to another video, and yes, from the title, I'll be going through NBA trade deadlines, and particularly for the Warriors. Now, I'm going to go through this video is about the Warriors and their trade deadline. The trade deadline's coming up very soon for the NBA, but I'm going to look at some scenarios for the Warriors that could improve their bench. So before we get into it, go down there, hit the subscribe button, like the video, straight into it. Now, what I'm going to be doing, breaking it down easily, I'm going to go through some of the people who's in free agency who could get traded in free agency at the trade deadline, and what could the Warriors could get, because as you know, they're not going pretty well right now because their bench points and their bench performance isn't that good from last year when we lost Gary Payton II, Otto Porter Jr., all those key guys from that championship run last year. So sit back, enjoy this video, we're going to go through it. So first off, we'll have a quick look at the Warriors now. As you know, the Warriors aren't right now. They're not what the defending champs used to be. So if we look where we're sitting 8th according to ESPN, and we don't really have a good bench performance. Our bench performance right now is a little bit shocking. Like, our bench performance isn't that well because we have great starters. We have the best starting five in the NBA. But our bench players aren't really good. We've got two-way players from the G League, Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome. We've got Dante from the Kings. We got Jamal Green from the buyout with the Thunder, and we kept Moses Mooney and James Wiseman. Come back from injury. So we really have guys who are still young, but we don't have any big men. All our big men is Kevon Looney and James Wiseman now. Those two players, Kevon Looney is our only big man. We're a very small team. Our Warriors team is made up of guards only, so we have no big men. So that's really what we need. We need someone coming off the bench who's another big man who can contribute, because James Wiseman's injured and he hasn't really stepped up after the G League games and after he's come back. So we only really have one big man who's not really big, is Kevon Looney. Now, if you think of it, we got to come up against Giannis and the Bucks, Joel Embiid and the 76ers, Robert Williams and Al Horford and the Celtics, Nikola Jokic and Denver, Kevin Durant and the Nets. So we're coming up against big teams later in the playoffs who have big men who are good. We have great shooting. We have great shooters in Steph, Clay, Poole, Wiggins, great defense in Draymond, but we have no really big men. So what I'm going to go through is trade rumors and scenarios that we could get at the end of this trade deadline who are mainly big men and some guards with it. So first off, we'll look at our salary. Now I've got this up here. So this is our salary here. So if we go, we're the most spending salary team in the NBA, which of course makes sense. So this is the Golden State Warriors salary. So this is what our team's looking at here. This is our lineup, as you know. This is what we got. The most expensive, of course, is Steph Curry, then followed by Clay, then Wiggins, and Draymond. But we got to look at, if you look at our roster there, we only have one big man in Kevon Looney. You could say Draymond's you could say Patrick and JaMarcus, but we don't really have a center that's tall that only plays center, So what I've got is, first off, we're all going to start off with the number one talk. We're going to start off with who we're going to look at through. We're going to look at Serge Ibaka. We're going to look at Jakob Poeltl. We're going to look at who else? Who else are we looking at? Boogie Cousins, Bidon Boban, Donovich, Alex Caruso, Jay Crowder. They're the main people we're going to look at, because some of those guys I just said are big. You got Cousins, who's a big man. Jakob Poeltl's a big man. We'll have a look at Miles Turner, Jay Crowder, and all the rest. So we'll go in straight away and have a look. Here we go. So first off, we start off with analysing Serge Ibaka for Jamal Green. Now with this, as you know how Jamal Green's going well. He's going pretty well where he is right now, but Serge Ibaka is the free agent coming up. I think Serge Ibaka is a free agent heading into the trade deadline with the Bucks. Now, if we do get Serge Ibaka, I think he's a great pickup. He really is amazing. But if we look at his salary, though, we'll just go back. We'll have a quick look at his salary with Milwaukee. Not Miami Heat, Bucks. So Serge Ibaka's salary, okay. So Serge Ibaka's salary is Right, 2,905. So his salary is not that big, but that would really help us. But Jamarcus Green is just coming back from an injury. It will get better. But would Serge Ibaka be a better player than Jamarcus? He's a big man. Another big man coming off the bench could help the Warriors. I just think it's also a good thing to analyse because all this is on to Bob Myers. He's the GM of the Warriors. He has to make these decisions on the trade deadline because we haven't really done anything on the trade deadline. But where we're sitting now in the NBA, we need some big men off the bench, some more, not younger guys, some veteran guys like Serge Ibaka. We give him a good contract. He's pretty good with that. We just need everyone else 100% healthy. Once we're all healthy, we're getting a groove. But everyone on the bench for the Warriors is all young. They're all young. I'll put a photo of what the Warriors bench looks like. We've got young guys. We've got mainly some guards, some big men, some power forwards. But we don't have a classic big man like Serge Ibaka. But that's what we're going to keep an eye on Bob Myers with that. Serge Ibaka. Next up, Wiseman. We'll talk about Wiseman quickly. He's been struggling with an offense designed for Steph Curry. So Wiseman isn't really playing his best, mainly. Another thing on Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl, I think, would be great. Because Jakob Poeltl is a free agent. He's being amazing where the Spurs are right now. He's heading into a free agency. He can shoot, he can drive, he can get fouled, he can make shots. So Jakob Poeltl, picture Poeltl along with Looney, along with Wiseman if we keep him, or we might trade Wiseman. Along with Anthony Lamb, Ty Jerome, Dante, Poole, you've got Kuminga, Mooney. So we have all these good guys. If we add someone big man like Poeltl for Wiseman, this is what I'm saying. Now, yes, we got the second overall pick in the 2020 draft for James Wiseman, but I don't think he's showing it. He's injured at the moment, but we don't know when he's going to come back. But if we could honestly trade James Wiseman for Poeltl. But I think it's a wild guess out there. I just think Jakob Poeltl is great. If we can get him, that'll be great. It's not up to me, of course. It's up to Bob Myers and what that team behind the scenes can do. On Ty Jerome and Anthony Lamb, those two-way players, we can sign them onto the Warriors can sign them onto contracts in the last few days before the trade deadline if they want to. They can. How good are they though? Anthony Lamb, Ty Jerome have been technically right where we're sitting now. They've been great pickups for where we are. Moving on to the next two is Boogie Cousins, DeMarcus Cousins. He would take up the 15th spot in the free agent. So it's unlikely that this will happen. But if we do happen, again, another big man, great off the bench. I'm just putting out there, this video is just putting out ideas on trade deadline scenarios for the Warriors. Boogie Cousins is up there. You've got Boogie Cousins, you've got a lot of people. And he's great. He's been great in Denver. We've seen it in the playoffs. We've seen him earlier this season. But I think it would be a great pickup. It's unlikely because he would take up the 15th spot. So it's unlikely with the money and salary that the Nuggets are offering him, we could tie with that. But it's unlikely. But he's also a good option for scenarios. This is just scenarios. Next up, you've got Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder has not played a game this season for the Suns. He's a free agent right now, so he's not played a game. He's looking for a team. There's some options for team are like the Heat and Bucks who are wanting to get him. But we could get him. He wants to start. It probably wouldn't be a great fit for the Warriors system right now, what Jay Crowder is really doing, because he's not really a big man. He's kind of like a small forward shooting guard type thing, but we got a lot of them. So Jay Crowder's up there, but he wants to start. He wants to be on a team. But can we afford him with the salary we got? The highest bidding team in the NBA right now, according to this page. But I think Jay Crowder's there on the list for us. We could get him if we have enough money and salary, but it's unlikely. Flying through this quickly, Alex Caruso. Now, there are rumours of Alex Caruso leaving the Bulls, going to the Warriors probably, and in free agency. Every year, free agency comes around, there's teams that do jump after this all-star break after free agency, so we just have to pick someone. I think we need to make a move for the Warriors. Alex Caruso, he plays the exact same position as Dante. That's going to be an issue there. We have Dante. Steve Kerr's going to have to shuffle the lineup with guards. All we really need is the big ones here is Jakob Poeltl and Boogie Cousins, and even Serge Ibaka is what it up there. Also, Jared Vanderbilt is $4 million, only 20% career 3-point percentage. Also, Kelly Olynyk's up there, but so much else to talk about, isn't it, really? If we also Miles Turner, he's an unrestricted free agent, so it's unlikely we can't afford him. He's unrestricted, so we got to either we got to extend his contract to get Miles Turner. There's also rumors about Miles Turner, but I think he's going to have to stay with Indiana or get traded to someone other than the Warriors. He's unrestricted, so they can extend the contract. The Pacers, but unlikely and probably so not we're going to get him. But the really ones we're looking at is either Boogie Cousins, Serge Ibaka, or Jakob Poeltl. They're the main two. Serge Ibaka, Jakob Poeltl. So if we go down the roster, I'll put the Warriors roster. If we go down one by one, this is what our bench is looking at right now. If we decide to, this is what it looks like. The ones here of our normal ones, we got Jakob Poeltl, Alex Caruso, Barker, Cousins, Crowder, and then you got Iguodala, Wiseman, Mooney, Dante. So really, our bench really would be this. If we had to do a trade deadline and trade some people, we would have to either trade Ty Jerome, Wiseman, or even Mooney. They're the two we would have to at least try and trade to get big men like that. But our bench production right now, what it's looking at is Dante DiVincenzo, Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Mooney, Anthony Lamb, Ty Jerome said, James Wiseman, and if we add Serge Ibaka into that mix, you've also got JaMychal Green into that. You've also got Ryan Rollins helping up there with the rookies and Patrick Botton Jr. So we still got a lot of good people on this team, but if we do add another big man like Serge Ibaka or even Jakob Poeltl to this Warriors lineup, we've got a few more big men in. You got JaMychal Green, you got Wiseman, but we probably have to trade Wiseman to get these picks or get these players. But that's really it. So anyway, that's really all we're going to go through this video is just trade scenarios. This really depends on Bob Myers. Overall, we need to make a move. The Warriors really need to make a move in free agency just because on what they're doing, they have to get it because they're not going that well. They need to at least make a move with one of these players on the trade deadline. But that's really it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't seen, go check my channel out. You'll find everything there. But that's really it. Warriors trade scenarios for the trade deadline, all up to Bob Myers. Can we do it? That's what I'm talking about. I'll put some of this information in the description. We'll see how we go. This is technically the first video after the update video. So thanks for that. I just had to get this one out because the trade deadline's coming up soon. So I had to put this one out. This is some trade scenarios for the Warriors. Enjoy that, guys. Thanks for watching. Anything else I missed? Check the NBA app. There'll be trade rumors up there as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Limited videos. Haven't seen the update video? Go watch that because all that information will be up there. Go check the update video out. See ya.